Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. This is your weekly live tournament rundown hype episode. Getting ready for the weekend. My name is Paul Murphy, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri.
G'day, everybody. So sorry we're late. It's my fault.
The mogul Dustin Henshaw.
G'day.
I was going to leave it up there and say that one of our members was ambushed by daylight saving time, and I was going to let them
ambushed hard.
Look,
hard.
The rest of the world, the free world moved forward. And I stayed the same. Oh, no, you moved back. I don't know. One way. It went away.
We
stayed the
sprung
same.
forward. We did spring forward.
That's right.
Yeah. And I was unaware of such things and was going about my business. And then at 1 minute to when we're supposed to go live, Dustin's like, Adam, and I'm actually down the road getting my hair cut. And I'm like, yeah.
Look,
And then
that is okay.
Cue Benny Hill music, literally.
Yeah. We can't necessarily blame you for not keeping your eye on the North American time zone changes when there's all the rest of the world for us to cover. And speaking of all the rest of the world for us to cover, we have a wide range of events to bring you some information on. During the scope of the show, the main meat of the show, we're going to be talking about the Rocky Mountain Open. That's going to be where War Games Live is this year. I'm sorry, not this year, this weekend. The Open in Talvaria, and I searched the world over for my Euro Trash Cup. We are going to be bringing you that. But before we get into that, want to give some event shout outs to the GTC 2024 in Portugal. 52 players, 13 teams of 4 over 5 rounds in Portugal. Pretty cool. The Winter Assault in Travisota, Helsinki, Finland. 48 players, 5-round event of that tournament organized by the lovely Riku. And then the Athens Open in Athens, Greece, 28 players and 7 teams of 4 over 5 rounds. I bet that's going to be a pretty interesting weekend. I'd love to see those ratios of rounds and players.
Absolutely. Big shout out to the lovely Riku, good friend of mine, one of my perennial companions at the WTC every year, an absolutely lovely gent. Hopefully things are doing well for him in Helsinki with the rest of his crew. And great week of events we got coming up.
Oh, welcome to the show, everyone. We have a great live chat community, which we'll be interacting with over the course of the show. If you're listening to us after the fact, know that you can come and on most weeks, hang out with us at 9 p.m. Eastern time or whatever time that is in Australia. We're getting this kicked off a little bit later this evening.
At least an hour earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you are listening to after the fact, that didn't matter to you anyway. Thanks a lot for listening. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. Let's jump into it. Rocky Mountain Open, 206 players, 6-round event. Dustin, what are we going to see there?
We are going to be seeing the Imperial Superfaction. There are 5 Sisters of Battle, 9 Custodes, 3 Admech, 12 Astra Militarum, 7 Grey Knights, and 9 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 20 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 6 Space Wolves, 6 Blood Angels, 2 Death Watch, and 11 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 12 Chaos Space Marines, 4 T-Suns, 11 Death Guard, 9 World Eaters, 6 Demons, and 5 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 17 Necrons, 5 Orcs, 4 Tau, and 5 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 13 Tyranids and 2 G-Sealer Cult. Eldari, there's 8 Drakari and 6 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Astartes, topping it off with 20. The Necrons close behind them with 17. Tyranids in third with 13. And then Astra Militarum and CSM in fourth with 12. And then Death Guard and Black Templar right behind them with 11. That's an interesting spread. Astartes are actually pretty far ahead in that. What do you guys think of that?
If you take out the aberration that is a Gene-Stealer cult, this is very similar to last week's meta.
It is quite similar. It's interesting. So I do believe that definitely Tyranids are the flavor of the area. That is a regional meta. That Tyranids are very strong there. I know a good friend of mine, Matt Evans, is always moving and shaking in the greater Colorado region, and there's a bit of there's not that he has a following, but there's a bit of a hive mind tendril in that region that always kind of holds strong. So not surprised to see Tyranids in and up there. But man, so very few times I will tell us to look at the super faction stats, and Space Marines are not a true super faction, but the fact of the matter that there is 48 players playing Adeptus Astartes in some way, shape, or form, a power armored, non-heretic Space Marine, which is more than all of Chaos, all of Imperium, all of Xenos, and it's more than Xenos and Eldari put together, which is usually one I kind of look at as well, because sometimes Eldari can be considered Xenos in their own rights, but I like to split them out. And so there are just so many power armored good guys, and I say good guys with a tongue in cheek because there are none. But it is very fascinating that there are just so freaking many.
With the Astartes and the different flavors of them, and then just with how many different builds can you tweak out of that list now with a couple
Yeah.
different faction templates? I don't know if you did any eyeballs on the detachments that people are picking, if there was a standout still.
Ironstorm is the one
Yeah.
I'm seeing over and above. Ironstorm and Vanguard and Gladius are still the three that I'm seeing the most of. The vast majority of what I saw from the Black Templars, and I didn't look at all 11, but I looked at a handful just to have a quick little beat on them. But yeah, Ironstorm is looking like the powerhouse pick for Space Marines at the moment. Doesn't really matter what stripe or flavor you come in, red, blue, otherwise. Ironstorm is a very strong way to do it. We do have one list to bring to your viewing pleasure. I actually trawled through quite a lot. I was just looking for something spicy, something unique, and I came across a Drukhari list that I really like the look of. The gentleman's name is Cody Jiru, who of course is playing a Sky Splinter Assault, and I just want to keep my finger on the pulse of Drukhari, and hopefully you guys do too, because this is an emerging faction. It's almost brand new on the block, because the way it's playing is very proactive and is very exciting as well. So it starts off with two Archons. One has the Nightmare Shroud, one has Phantasmal Smoke, and then 3 Beastmaster packs. And I did a little breakdown of what's in the Beastmaster pack just for people who did not know. That's a Clawed Fiend, 2 Camilleri, and 3 Razorwing Flocks, and then 2x10 Cabalites, a single Raider, and 2 Venoms to break up the Cabalites. So you have essentially 4 little objective controlling units. A Court of the Archon, which is the first time I've seen that in a very long time. 3 single Chronos, which I actually quietly like with their flamers. They have some decent Overwatch jank, and they're always more. It's harder to remove them than their points. A unit of 10 and unit of 5 Incubi, of course, to be toted around with their Archon mates. 2x5 Mandrakes for objective scoring. 2x5 Scourges, and then this is the spice, boys. The big old Catamaran Tantalus.
That thing is like 1.5 feet long.
It absolutely is. It is ridiculous. And Dustin's, what are you looking at yours right now?
I'm literally
Dustin?
looking at mine right now. Is actually
Casting your mind over
Trying
there.
to measure it up, 1.5 feet long.
It's ridiculous.
Foot and a half,
It's
absolutely, yeah.
ridiculous. Yeah, true. This is a very interesting list. And once again, Frontline Gaming. So say what you will about the player placed and thematics and their terrain stuff, but what it allows is stuff like this to thrive. We saw a very highly placed Baneblade chassis, Astra Militarum list, placing at their previous event, and this would usually be really hard to wield, and if not, in some formats, very hard to quantify taking and wielding logistically on things like WTC terrain or some Games Workshop terrain formats. But here, it gets to have a little bit of lease on life. So I'm very happy to see it here. And I really wanted to point out, you still get a pretty damn good fleshed out list and the Tantalus for the points, because they're not that expensive.
A lot can go in the Tantalus. It's a transport, and it's got good guns, but it's a transport.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I
so-
haven't looked at it since 10th, I think, but I remember it being 16 before. So
So I think all the Incubi can go in it with their Archons in tote, or you can have a bunch of Cabalite units. Once you split up the Cabalites within the Venoms, the other 5 mans can go in the Tantalus. You can have the Scourges jumping out, getting a slingshot out, and then fire and fading after they shoot into relative safety, so they can really slingshot around the table. Same thing can be done with the Mandrakes. Like the Mandrakes can go out turn 1, grab objectives, then pop into reserve at the end of your opponent's turn. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I definitely think... and I was going to ask, do we know if the Beastmasters can go in there? Because that would give them a turn 1 slingshot as well. But
well,
I'm
they
not
have,
sure
they
that,
have a big
I don't
scout,
believe they
though.
can.
I don't know if they'd want to do that because of the
Exactly
scout they
right.
have.
You'd waste the scout.
But I think they can
so-
technically.
Yeah, I think they can technically as well, but I'm not sure if you would
But
want
I'd have
to.
to actually look at the Tantalus reading.
I'm
too.
gonna look at the Tantalus right now to see
Yeah,
if the
look
beast,
at that.
you know.
Oh, the other thing is with the Sky Splinter Assault, you can give the Tantalus a 4-up invuln.
Yes,
That's
that's
big.
exactly bang bang.
That's
That's what you want, baby. Yeah, and you can just go skidding that things into people because it's actually pretty good in combat. It's got like a bunch of strength 6 AP 2
It's so
damage
bad.
attacks if I remember correctly, or that might be the shooting. It might be
The
strength 8 in
Tantalus
combat.
has a transport capacity of 16 Drukhari infantry models. Grotesque take up 3 model slots.
Okay, so Beastmasters can't go in because they are beasts.
And this model cannot transport
Or at least
models
the
that
other
can
guys
fly.
are beasts.
Now,
Beastmaster, I think, has
Dustin,
a 5 as well. Yes.
people asking why the Beastmasters. You are Ascari, an Ascari aficionado and regular play partner.
Yes!
What do they do, mate?
They clog up your board because they scout 9, move 12, and then charge. and they are 20 some odd wounds of just pain in the butt to get rid of. 6-up invul, and so I mean, like, it's not something you can just pick up and get rid of, and they won't kill a lot, but they don't need to. They'll tie it up. They will block you into your zone. If you can't get past them, you're going to have a lot of trouble scoring primary early on because of that scout. They will get so much free movement. I've fought against 2 of them, and that was just a nightmare. 3 of them that's excessive. Come on, Cody.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot.
what I love about them is that the whole Sky Splinter assault is predicated on the Drukhari player getting to be the aggressor.
Yeah.
When the Drukhari player isn't the aggressor, the army just kind of folds up like a piece of paper. It's essentially it's very, very, very weak. Everything is predicated on you, the Drukhari player, dictating the battle, and they give you the control to dictate the battle, to tempo it out. So I think they are an integral part of the play. This is the first time I've seen 3 also. I usually see 2.
They have a built-in reroll charge.
Yep, that's the other thing too.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's like
Very
them getting
nice.
in there, like they're moving 21, re-rolling to charge. Like that's a pretty reliable 28-inch threat range. So that's reliable 28-inch.
Yeah.
So that's
I'm a bit
scary.
So the thing here I don't get at all is the Court of the Archon. I don't understand. I don't comprehend what that is here for.
Use your slits and Urgles.
Yeah, it might just be
I can
big fan.
Yeah, I respect that.
Go for it.
They fit in the Tantalus for sure. And I mean, there may be some
100%.
spare capacity. It may be one of those things to where it gives you another, because I think they're still durable. Like I still think they can take a punch. And not much else in the army really can.
Yeah, they can for sure. I mean, actually, Dorian's asking about the Chronos too. If they're there for damage or to help keep the pain tokens, they're technically, I don't think they're there for either of those. Either of those things are just a bonus for them. Chronos are just extremely cheap, durable bodies. I think they're like 50 points for 7 T7 5-up feel no pain wounds. Like they're cheap.
Yeah,
cheap bodies.
They're there to be chucked on objectives and to hold things down, and then just have a couple of flamers. If you mess around with them too much, or you get too cute and try and remove them for cheap, they might just overwatch you and ruin your damage output.
Because they have a flamer and something that should be a flamer, but not.
It's a blast. It's a blast gun, something. But anyway,
Court of Archon is the turn 4 and 5 plays. Like if all else fails.
Yep.
Last wave. Yeah. It might be there are 4 models in the Court of the Archon.
I don't even know that there's 4 different model types. There's the Medusa,
that's right.
There's the Slith.
It's 85 points for 4 models.
So the reason this is so that he can have a 10-man Incubi unit with an Archon, and then 4 Court of the Archon with an Archon in the Tantalus, because that makes 16.
That does indeed add up to 16.
There is that option as well.
That's math.
So maybe it's just
okay.
That is math.
You know what?
That is math.
That I like that, because I hate having extra capacity. Just like I hate having 1,999 points on my list. So I like it.
The way this works, I mean, the slits, subtract 1 from the wound rolls, as long as there's a slit in the unit, and the Urgle gives the unit 5, the whole unit 5 first.
That's scary.
Yeah. It's a pretty interesting unit. I mean, and I suppose he has the duality here that if he wants, that can just be 4 mooks that go and sit on a backfield objective and you're happy days. Or you can, and then in that case, the other Archon can go with the Incubi, or you can switch it up and have a little bit more of a durability unit that still has fights first in the matchups where you need a little bit of fights first, because it is important in a lot of matchups.
This does strike me as like that late game play to either get, like you're talking about hanging on the backfield objective, you don't care about them, or even go forward when all else is kind of is basically burned itself out because you're easy to wound, easy to deal with, or you fed them in that pace your opponents to your opponents.
Exactly right. We have a Buzzkill in chat. Are you attending the Rocky Mountain Open? If so, what are you playing, mate? We'd love to give you a little bit of a shout out. This is the only list we're going to be able to go through for the Rocky Mountain, because we have a hell of a lot to cover on this episode. But we'd love to give you a shout out. What are you playing? What are your aspirations? And tell us a little bit about your journey to the event if we can. But otherwise, we have to move on, gents. Let's have some picks.
Yeah, let's pick. This is the part of the show where we pick which faction we think is going to take away the top spot, or at least get in the top 3.
Who's picking first?
Let's see. What's a good pick here?
Paul should be picking first.
Paul's picking
first. Take it away, mate.
It's been a rough month. Although you say that, you get to actually see the journey there, the emotional journey we go on in part 2 of the show, which is only available to tier 2 and above Patreon subscribers. But
the trials, the tribulations, the defeats, the glory, all of this and more you can find on the part 2 over at Patreon, Warhammer Meta Chasers.
We did put in a new rule too, is that if you pick Astartes, you have to declare which sub-faction of the Astartes.
Yeah.
Or if you're just doing the blanket Astartes of those, in this case, 20.
Yeah, you can either have the vanilla Astartes, or you can have one of the Astartes sub-factions. You can't have all of them.
Yep.
All right, Paul, what would you like?
I think I'm going to go with Death Guard again.
Whoa. There are 11 of them
Very
there.
due. They are threatening, and they're very due. I'm going to pick next, and I'm still sticking with Astra Militarum.
Crazy.
Let's go. Dustin, what do you reckon?
Where are we? Denver?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, fair. Vanilla Astartes.
Vanilla Astartes.
All right, what's the next event, gents?
Yeah, next event we're going to be talking about is the Open Talavera from Talavera, Spain. 107 players in a 5-round event. That's a light one for them.
Yeah,
a little bit on the lighter side. Yeah, where's
only 107? Come on.
So Portugal's pretty close.
It is true. Portugal might have stripped a 0 off there.
This drive over, easy, right?
Yeah.
What are we going to see there?
This one we're going to be seeing. Well, you wanted to say something, Adam, before I go into
the mic?
Oh, okay. So in the Imperial Super Faction, there's 1 Sister Battle, 9 Custodes, 0 Admech, 8 Astra Militarum, 8 Grey Knights, and 4 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are 6 Adeptus Astartes, 5 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 2 Blood Angels, and 6 Black Templar. Chaos, there's 1 Chaos Space Marine, 2 T-Suns, 3 Death Guard, 3 World Leaders, and 6 Demons, and then 3 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 14 Necrons, 4 Orcs, 4 Tau, 2 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 2 Tyranids and 1 G-Sealer Cult. Eldari, there is 4 Drukhari and 8 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Necrons topping it off with 14, Custodes in second with 9, and then Astra Militarum, Grey Knights, and Eldari in third with 8. This is closer to what I would expect the meta to look like right now if I'm looking at the standard stuff. What do you guys think?
100%. I think any of the third slot, any of the bronze podiums can be very well interchanged. I mean, Astra Militarum could be Death Guard, could be Tyranids, Grey Knights could be World Eaters in some metas, could be Orcs in some metas. It's very interchangeable. But yeah, 1 and 2 are looking pretty stable as Necrons and Custodes in a lot of the singles metas out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Necrons and Custodes, I'm not surprised, but Eldari, they should always be in podium in terms of representation at the very least. Even if they don't perform, there's so many Eldari players and they're still a very good faction. Astra Militarum has just been on a tear lately, but they just haven't really managed to clip that many top spots. Few exceptions, obviously, but they have the capability of doing it. And Grey Knights, they have had some spicy lists come up lately. Like, spicy lists.
These are no exception. The list I've pulled out of this event is indeed a Grey Knights list.
I like that though, going into the tank and trying to figure out just what works in this meta.
I love it.
So we look at things, of course, objectively as we do week after week, but there is something to say. Like once things become established, you know where the target is. You know what you have to overcome.
Exactly.
At least 1 or 2 rounds of the event.
Spot on. Let's jump into that top player in attendance. This is Alejandro Mancuso Serrano. He's playing Grey Knights. This is definitely one of the WTC hopefuls for Spain this year, if not previous years. Very, very spicy list for a couple of reasons, which we will unpack. 3 librarians, just slapping down 3 librarians, all those mortal wound bomb potentials. A single Tech Marine, Grandmaster in Nemesis Dreadnought with Sigil of Exigence, 5 Terminators, 5 Strikes, a Land Reader Redeemer, which is one of the first times we have seen that making its entrance into the Grey Knight lists. 5 Paladins.
We've seen other power armor factions take them, but you're right. First time with the Grey Knight.
Every other power armor faction, maybe except Heretic Astartes, has taken a Redeemer at some point. And yeah, then 3x5 Dreadnoughts. So that's a total of 4 Dreadnoughts and the Redeemer. And that's what the Dreadnoughts being good again has allowed you to do. Being like, well, when I only had the Redeemer, it just gets blown up. But now that I have an even spread of mechanized high toughness units, the Redeemer now holds weight because it's not the only thing that's going to cop every single las cannon, every single multi-melter, every single, for the entire game.
3x5 Dreadnoughts, 15 Dreadnoughts.
Sorry?
Oh, that's a lot of Dreadnoughts.
3x5 Dreadnoughts.
That is a lot of Dread Knights.
Like, all right, am I counting 16 Dread Knights in this list?
That is an
That's a lot of
illegal
points.
amount of Dread
Whoa.
Knights. I do apologize. That's just 3 Dread Knights. 3 Dread Knights. Yeah. You don't know what time I did these stats. It could have been at the wee hours of the morning, you know? Wibbly wobbly timey wimey, you know? You're gonna leave it to me. But yeah, it's
KR in
3
chat's like 3 by 5. That's strong. That's you're sending a message.
It's strong, yeah, man. It's strong.
Turns out, guys, it's strong. It's strong.
Turns out when you come in with like a 3,500 goal list, pretty good.
How many points? Somebody in chat work out how many points would be 16 Dread Knights.
That's one of the questions on the test later.
It is.
I should have done that. That'll be next week. That'll be next week.
Yeah. This is a really, really good list. It's very well rounded. I do love having one. So it's what's interesting is so one librarian goes with the paladins, one librarian goes with the terminators, and one librarian goes by themselves, or all 3 can go by themselves. And one of the things I absolutely adore about this is, so there's a very beautiful thing that happens when you average out what one librarian does to a Catan. One librarian does approximately 2d3 mortal wounds and then a combi bolter shot to a Catan. But if that's 3, that's 12d3. So no, that's 6d3 mortal wounds, and then you add in a Dread Knight tank shock. 6d3 averaged out. How many is that, boys? It's about 12. And then if you do the max mortal wounds of a Dread Knight, that's 18 mortal wounds. If that goes through to a 5-up, feel no pain, an average, that's 12 that go through, and that is a dead Catan. And that is the secret spicy magic number that I believe this list is reaching for.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, they are not scared of Catans in this list.
No, exactly right. They're just like, lol, bring them to me. Yeah, I do believe this is a Necron Predator. This list is a Necron Predator. Sure. And I'm really happy to see that Grey Knights can operate in that sphere, in that realm. And
with that many Necrons here, that's a good read on the meta. That is a good
I do think the trick is them getting to that matchup.
Yes.
Yes.
But that's what we're talking about. They've got their crosshairs set on what the top of the meta is right now, and which with some skill, and you see this novel list design. This is not something other people are playing right now. I love seeing that. That's part of the trends that you see, how you can actually approach it if your faction is not, quote unquote, doing the best or getting the headlines. Maybe some tools in your toolbox, and this player is finding them.
Has anybody seen or know anybody who has played the Hypercrypt versus Grey Knights game where everything leaves the table every turn and redeploys every turn? That's the whole game, is just everybody moving everything all the time?
Because I only play like in team events and team scrims and stuff, and I don't think anybody ever wants that matchup on either side.
So.
No. Looking for those good objective flips.
I'm going to pick up 4 units and put them down the board, and then you're going to pick up your 4 units and you put them down, and they're going to go over there, and this one, that. It sounds like a horrible time. KR is pointing out one of the problem matchups. Regular Space Marines and Custodes both have reasonable matchups into this list. I mean, me as a Space Marine player, I look at this list, I'm like, it's kind of fine. I don't think I blow it out, but I don't think it kicks my ass either. So it comes down to just player skill. And I think Custodes matchup is also another one that's very similar. And so, I think there are some interesting matchups for this in the meta, but it's aiming high because this thing annihilates Eldari as well. This thing is an absolute Eldari predator also. And so, it's got some really, really good matchups, and it's starting to get to a place where it plays well into the majority of the rest of the field as well. But you're right. There are some. You got to be good.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're saying it plays well into Eldari because the Eldari was kind of shifting towards a bunch of small 5,
correct,
small units that they're great, very utilitarian, but you get caught out in front of a Dread Knight or even a bunch of Stormbolters, you're just
Dread Knight with 2d6 flamer that just aces you.
Well, if you leave a Dread Knight sized hole in your backfield, one Dread Knight bombs in 3 inches away from you, shoots dead 1 unit, flamers dead another unit, and then the next time one moves, it overwatches and kills that one too, and you've won for freedom. And that's if you kill the Dread Knight. You might walk too close and then miss back into reserve, and so that's the kind of stuff they're gonna bop down and just like. And then piss off, and it could just be absolutely bad for you.
Needs to be clipped, by the way. That is the sound a Dread Knight makes when he's killing Eldari. I want everybody to make sure that you know that. That is the sound they make.
That's it. That one. Anyway, Jeds, we're gonna pick some winners.
Yeah, that's the list we're reading off for this event. But that's a nice one. I think that's some tech out there for aspiring Grey Knight generals looking to find a foothold in the meta right now.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. So it's got a premium flame on every Dread Knight and the Redeemer. This thing is an Overwatch nightmare to negotiate. I just realized that. It's an absolute nightmare.
No square inch of the board is safe.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
correct.
I hope you don't
Yeah,
play MSU because you're going to need to use more than one every turn.
correct. Every time. It's just going to make you pay every time. Wow, yeah. It's crazy. All right. Ball, pop off
I'm
again.
going to go with Custodes on this one.
Yeah, not a bad pick at all.
9 of them
brother.
there. Almost 10%. About 8%.
I went next last
Custodes.
time. Dustin, what would you like, brother?
I'm actually going to go with Grey Knights. You know what? Let's go.
I was going to go Grey Knights if you didn't. So I reckon that's a good pick. So I'm just going to be a lamer and go Necrons.
I mean, Grey Knights, 8 Grey Knights
Yeah.
at the event.
Yeah. Some other
I'm
very
really
strong
liking where
players.
these Grey Knights lists are going, too. Like, I think they're getting really, really strong now.
Yeah. Agreed.
Next one we're going to be talking about is our Angel in Black, the Eurotrash Cup from Amersfoort, Netherlands.
I like that they're not delusional about who and what they are. They just says it on the lunchbox. A lot of my great friends are going here, and yes, they're all Eurotrash.
80 player and event in 10 teams of 8, 5 rounds. In teams event, you can only represent one faction for one player, so that may skew the numbers. We like to look at that and see how it plays out. So you can tell some really strong factions, at least the players that read on really strong factions, but how close they come to that 50% mark.
Just a little bit of perspective. So this is an international level event. So there is very strong squads, like from national representation being sent from Team Germany, Team Poland, Team Iceland, the Netherlands, Norway, Ireland, and a bunch of others. Apologies if I didn't read this out, but this is absolutely stacked. A lot of WTC level teams and a bunch of their prospects. In addition, I think the Polish team has about 3 or 4 of their top guys and 3 or 4 of their prospects, and many of the other nations are sending similar squads. So this is a absolute test bed, pressure cooker for what is going to be good come a WTC. So if there's the closer the faction is to 10, the better that faction is as far as the best players in the world consider for teams. And you can just take that as almost gospel as it sits right now. So yeah, if it's anywhere near 10, one of the best factions in the game for teams.
What are we going to see there?
I want to see which ones are actually considered the best right now. So the Imperial Super faction, there are 7 Sisters of Battle, 8 Custodes, 9 Astra Militarum. There's 3 right there. 5 Grey Knights. That's still pretty high up. Space Marines, there's 3 Adeptus Astartes, 6 Black Templar.
So a total of 9 there.
So total of 9 there. I would consider like the Iron Storm probably the best one there. Is that safe to say?
The 6 out of 9 of them are Iron Storms.
Yeah.
I actually have that breakdown for our patrons, by the way. I broke down a lot of the top stuff.
All right. And then in Chaos, there's 4 T-Suns, 7 Death Guard, 2 World Leaders, 2 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 9 Necrons. Again, no surprise there. 1 Orc, 2 Tau, and 3 Votan. Hivemind, there's 3 Tyranids, 2 Gene Stealer Cult. Look, I have to pause on that for a second. That's 2 teams out of 10 that have taken Gene Stealer Cult to a worldwide event, like a world stacked event. Take note. Eldari,
they just had a weekend to kill.
Eldari, there are 7 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Astra Militarum and Necrons being represented on 9 out of the 10 teams. Custodes is second with 8 of the 10 teams represented there. And then Death Guard, Sisters, and Eldari in third with 7 of the 10 teams being represented there. That is actually pretty much what I expected, I think. Oh no, we did say like Astartes are on there. Okay, so yeah,
Astartes are technically in pole position as well. They're technically in first place with the other 2. It's a good spread. Once you include them, that's 7 factions on our podium, which means we have a relatively balanced meta, because it could very well have been 10 Necrons, 10 Astartes, 10 Eldari in a couple of months ago.
That's a third of the factions in the top 3 spots.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's good.
It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful to see. There is one nonsense team that I need to shout out. It's technically like an all-stars team. It's got a little bit of Team England. It's got a New Zealander. It's got some Americans on it. A bit of a mixing pot. And it's the Liam team. You guys, there's a gentleman out there. His name's Liam VSL. He's one of the best players in Europe. One of the best players in the world. But his last name is VSL on things. I'm not actually sure if it's his last name or it's an acronym. But there's a team of Liams, and it's Liam USB, Liam Al Gaib, just memeing on Liam, and they're all just people. They're all just superstars from various places in the world coming together to make a superstar team. So honorable mention to them. But the team we are having a look at now is Team Poland, because they are the reigning defending world champions of the WTC. So we always want to know what they are doing. I did look at the Liam team, but I thought giving a national team, especially the world champs, the current reigning world champs, their time in the sun is always something we want to do. So their 8-pack consists of thus. They've got a Custody Shield Host, 3 Blade Champions, Trajan, 3 units of Custody Guard, that being a 5, a 4, and a 4, and then 3x5 Wardens. And of course, for those who do not know, who have not seen us do a team event before, we don't list the entire list. You can just assume that there's Sisters of Silence in this list. You can assume that there's MSU and utility units and scoring units here that I have not listed. I'm just trying to give you an indication of what the list archetype is.
Highlights
the flavor of exactly
the
right.
flavor,
And,
yeah, the theme.
Yeah. Enough for you guys to know what the identity of the list is. We have a Black Templars. This is a Righteous Crusaders list. This is one of the only ones that wasn't an Ironstorm, and it's a hell of a thing. Grimolus, Helbrecht, and a Judicia. 2x20 Primaris Crusaders, 10 Sword Brethren, a Land Raider Redeemer, and then some MSU Assault Intercessors with jump packs. But that is a hammer if I ever saw one.
A bunch of them.
Yeah. Astra Militarum Combined Regiment, Creed, Lord Solar, and a Tank Commander, 2 Bassies, 2 Manticores, 2 Medusa Carriages, and then 20 Kassakin and 2 units of 6 Bulgrin.
Yep.
Very well rounded, but it's got the extra indirect there. So 6 pieces of indirect. Usually we say 3 to 5. This has gone pushing it even further because I think a team's format. Eldari Battle Host, Avatar, Vizark, and Fugan, Wave Serpent, 2 Falcons, and then just a bunch of the nonsense. 2x5 Fire Dragons, 2x5 Shadow Spectres, 2x5 Troop, and 5 Warp Spiders, making up a very MSU list archetype. We have Depta Sororitas, Hallowed Martyrs, Celestine, and the Triumph. So Triumph making a return here. 30 Archoflagelants being the maximum. Unit of 5, unit of 10 Seraphim, 5 Zephyrim, 2 Castigators and Exorcist, 2 Single Pennant Engines, and 2 Rhinos. That's very similar to a singles list you might see for Sisters out there. I think the only real concessions there is a few more Seraphim than we would see, and the Triumph showing up. The Canoptic Court is up next for the Necrons. Hexmark, 3 Plasmancers, 2 Technomancers, Caesaris, 3 into 5 Immortals, 3 Doomstalkers, 3x6 Wraiths. That was over and above the most taken list archetype for them. The MSU Immortals, triple Doomstalker, and a maximum Wraiths was taken by most of them. But 0 Catan, if you'll notice, that is a 0 Catan Necrons list, which is actually pretty spicy. Unending Swarm Tyranids is up a second from last. Death Leaper and a Neuro Tyrant, 2x20, then 2x10 Gargoyles, making 60 Gargoyles, 3 Exocrines, 2 Maleceptors, 22, and then 11 Neurogaunts. And I'm going to ask Dustin about that in a minute. And then 2x3 Zoanthropes. And then lastly, we have a Death Guard Plague Company, 3 Biologist Putrefiers, 3 Foul Blight Spawns, a Blightbringer, 3x10 Plague Marines, 3 Rhinos, 3 PBCs, 3 Float Drones, and 2x3 Nurglings. That makes the 8-pack. Why the Neurogaunts, brother? I mean, of course you have the Neuro Tyrant for the 22-man, but why? It's the first time I've seen an 11 model Neurogaunt taken that doesn't have a character. There's nothing. It's just kind of hanging out.
They don't take characters. It's a 45-point unit with 11 wounds in it. Like it's just
it
takes up board space. Like I'll say right. I think I've said this before, maybe not on this channel, but like podcasts I've been on, whatever. This style of Tyranid list and Unending Swarm is the best way to play Tyranids right now. It absolutely is. You're just recycling gargoyles, and that's all you spend your CP on. Maybe Overwatch reroll, but you're generally just recycling gargoyles. That's it. Everything else is just a stat check. There's a couple things in here that are like you test to see what exactly you want to keep in here, like the Zoanthropes, this many Neurogaunts. Like there was Termagants in here before, like a Tyrannifex with the acid spray. Like there's like about 200-300 points in here to play with, but the rest of it is so solid for Tyranids, and it's just a pain to deal with.
Any other standouts you boys can see that perk your interest?
I actually like the Necrons with just 3x5 Immortal tech with all the Plasmomancers because it's just cheap chaff clearing.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we've seen that Vizark either. Although I still don't get it.
Fight
if
first.
You're gonna take it. No, fight first is cool. It definitely is cool. And the rest of the stuff with Fuegan, I guess maybe coming out of the Wave Serpent.
Yeah, either that or he just runs
With
up onto an objective because he gets up on death. So you just chuck him for some secondary points when you pull a good card, or chuck him for some primary and make people exposed to go and kill him, and then he gets up on death at the end of the turn anyway. But yeah, he can be a bit of an annoying bung. But then you just have all the MSU nonsense. The 2x5 Harlequin troop is an interesting take, especially when you don't have a troop master, unless I forgot and left it off. In which case I do apologize.
Well, the Vizar can join the Harlequin troop.
Yep. He joins one of them, and then I'm assuming there'd be a troop master to join the other one, unless that one's just going to be chucked out for some goodness. It's just got 2 falcons. Yeah, two falcons. So the falcons get they'll get the fire dragons, and they'll be just there to go and try and scalp, and pop transports and all sorts, and then you scoop behind them with whatever your 5-man of choice that has a decent gun, which is, it seems like that's just so many units in the Eldari arsenal. Here is my cheap 5-man that for some reason just has like a superstar weapon. It's hilarious. The Black Templars is a standout to me. That is a very interesting list because it has the duality of I can play these 40 guys and we're just going to not die and saturate the primary, or here's 40 dudes, a Land Raider, and 10 of the killiest models in the game in melee, that being 10 Sword Brethren and Helbrecht, and I'm just going to run them right at you with rerolls to advance and rerolls to charge. And I like that. I actually really like that list. I really like the duality that it brings, because it can be both something that tries to push and get a big win, or you just sit stable, take it easy, and never get blown out, never lose by a big one.
Like that.
Dustin,
here for team events,
absolutely.
We pick what the faction we think is going to score the highest battle points. We don't pick the winning team. We say which faction is going to pick the highest battle points.
Paul, you're off again. Take your pick, mate.
We saw an upset, I think, the last time we did this.
We did, because someone keeps picking Necrons at the team events.
It's true.
And Necrons ain't it at team events. They get wins, but they never get the big wins. And we're talking about that because at a lot of team events, they play the 20-0 system, which they will be at this one, being that every 5 points that a difference between you and your opponent's score, you move each way on the differential system. And so Necrons win and can beat everybody, but they very rarely beat them by 51 points, which is what you need to get a max win in the game of differential teams. So yeah, that's something we have been doing for a couple of weeks. So Paul, what would you like?
I'm going to go with Astra Militarum.
Oh, pick.
Yeah.
Good pick. Dustin, what would you like?
I'm going with Tyranids.
Tyranids. Nice. Very nice. Damn, what am I going to do now then? You both took my picks, you bums.
That's what we do.
This is a good one to pick, Death Guard. Let's go.
Yeah,
it's Europe. It's Europe, baby.
That is supposed to do it for sure.
At the Euro Trash Cup.
Do apologize if we scooted through this a little faster than we have previously, but it was my fault, and we did start like 25 minutes late. So apologies if we
got a lot of shows to do tonight.
It's right. It's right. Some of us are on our 3rd show for the day already.
But we're not done yet, by the way. Look, those are the events we're covering, the meat of the show. But we do have the palate cleanser that we always have, some type of little thing to take us a break from all this number crunching and staring at the metal like we have done. Also, we'll take a minute. We talked about our Patreon earlier, but I want to mention that it does exist. Every tier is awesome. There's a way to support the show. Show takes a lot of work to produce, a lot of work to do, and that is one way to say thank you and what's up and support the show in that way. If you can't support it in that way, don't forget to leave 5-star reviews everywhere you're listening to us. That would also be great. Trick those algorithms into maybe showing other people what we do here so they can come listen to us as well. Leave some comments, give a thumbs up, do all the stuff. Just do the stuff.
Do all the stuff. All of it.
All of it.
Just the stuff.
Every one of the stuff.
Yeah, we might have some merch coming. We'll see. But anyway, however you can support the show, we really would appreciate it, because that is one way to say what's up. And as a part from also remembering, you can come here and hang out with us live each and every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time ish.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
And hang out with this wonderful chat community that we have that keeps us honest and is going to get to play a game with us here, I believe.
That's right. Speaking of joining us live, anybody that is in the chat with us can participate in this live again. It is another game of guess those points. I hope you guys do enjoy this as much as I think we enjoyed doing it. Since we're doing this for this month, then we'll be going back to Fuego, kind of flipping back and forth, and let us know which one you guys prefer, because we do this for you mainly. So we want to make sure that you're enjoying it as well. For those of you that are listening to us after the fact, I will be reading off the questions too, so you can kind of guess with us before the answers put up there. And next time join us live, because it's a lot of fun to do, I think. So if you are in the chat, you will be able to do this.
I'm on an upward 3-week trajectory. I went from 5th to 4th. Let's go.
It's time. Right. He's ready to podium this time. So again, everybody in the chat, there will be questions that are going to be pointed out here, and you are going to just need to guess by typing in the exact number that you think the points is. It's going to be point values in the game, generally like what units cost with if they have characters in or whatever. Just type in what you think the point cost of them is in the chat. Nothing else. Press enter and see how well you do.
Let's guess dim points.
Get dim points. Guess dim points. Ready? Right? Starting? Right?
Oh, I'm ready.
Ready?
Let's go.
There we go. Okay, good. We did it. All right. So again, anybody in the chat, all you have to do is type in the guess that you have. Just the number. Press enter. And there's going to be about 30 seconds between each question and 30 seconds to guess each one as well. So it is, yes, that is the thing. Speed does matter. Thank you for pointing that out, KR. It is the faster you put it in, the more points you will get. And that is actually another factor, just not just how accurate you are, but how fast you are too. So no cheating.
Deliver it with the answer
gusto.
With intensity.
All right. First one. How many points are 6 Cataphren Breachers with a Tech Priest Manipulus? How many points are 6 Cataphren Breachers with a Tech Priest Manipulus?
Okay. Oh, no. I'm all tabs all over the place.
Too many tabs.
Oh, 800.
Nurgle Matt coming in hot with the 800. Wow.
Not the Castellan robots. That would be about 800 points.
Yes, that's true. That would actually be accurate. The correct answer for that one is 345.
Oh, 360.
The Breachers, I believe,
I'll take
90 and then 55 for the Manipulus.
Stuck it.
345. Artemis Steve just nailed it completely. Pretty quick, too. Adam, okay. They're off to a good start. 360. Pretty a little slow on its uptake, but you got there. It's okay.
I got there. I'm happy with it.
You got there. You should be. you're
had
close,
my
close.
num lock off. I had like 3 or 4 different tabs open. I was trying to get. I thought I could. Yeah. It's fine. I'll be quicker.
Next up, how many points are 5 Primaris Sword Brethren with the Captain? How many points are 5 Primaris Sword Brethren with the Captain?
Let's go. I'm first in.
Oh, just right in there. Oh, that is
is my faction, baby. I should be close.
I think you're right on. I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Ooh, you should.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. All right, some really good guesses in this one. I think there's a couple people that got really close or nailed it. I think. Let's see. The answer is 220. Yes.
Yeah. just more Black Templar related.
That's right.
Questions,
It's
obviously
this is 140 for the 5 Primaris Brethren, and then it is 80 points for the Captain. So
I'm in the
KR
window, baby.
only 10 points off. Oh, Paul, you were really close. 200 too. Oh, but Adam he just crushed that one. Wow.
Yeah, you stick it.
Timing and everything. Whew. Yeah. Okay. Well, that was your faction, so that's
it
fair.
Is.
Genuinely, that benchmark.
There's no more Black Templar questions here. So next up, how many points are 5 Custodian Wardens and a Blade Champion? How many points are 5 Custodian Wardens and a Blade Champion?
Because you buy them at 4, don't you? And then you can tick them up to 5. Let's go 380.
Ooh, okay.
I reckon it's like 240, and then I think it's 120 or something, or 140 for the. No, it can't be 140. Oh, because I always give them friggin' enhancements.
Little.
Oh, I think Dorian might have typed an extra number in there.
3,320.
The correct answer is 370.
Oh, I was off by 10. I'll take it.
370. Oh, KR nailing that one. And then Adam close behind at 380. Then Paul with 300. Pretty quick. Okay. It's going to be.
I think my brain is off two updates ago.
Yeah. But you still get points for the answer. It's okay.
KR's a juggernaut at this.
Yeah, man. KR's crushing it right now. Next up, how many points are 10 Plague Marines, a Foul Blight Spawn, and a Biologist Putrefier?
Oh, Jesus.
How many points are 10 Plague Marines, a Foul Blight Spawn, and a Biologist Putrefier? Come on, Nurgle Matt. This is all you, buddy.
I'm in there.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, I've got no idea.
Got an answer from the heart.
It's from the heart.
Because all the
they're
like
the
50 and
14th Legion.
They're like 50 and 60 point models. The characters.
They're both 50 points. The correct answer is 280.
Oh, crap. Dang.
It is actually ridiculously cheap.
280?
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, Nurgle Matt, right on. Nailed it. 280. That's disgusting. My boy.
Almost like they meant us to be disgusted. Good man. Good man.
Nurgle Matt knows
he's doing it. He's doing it. He's manifesting.
He knows it. Adam was pretty close too.
Dude,
though.
I was way off too. Really? I thought it wasn't 280. I was like 30 points off.
30 points is pretty close. Come on. Give yourself some credit here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still up there. Next up, how many points is Baharoth and 10 Swooping Hawks? Baharoth and 10 Swooping Hawks. Not that anybody really runs that anymore, but hey, you know.
Oh, I saw him in a list. I saw him in a list this week.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. 290? 290? Surely that's fair.
You might be in the right ballpark.
It's not going to be fair, but I think like Swooping Hawks are like 135, 140.
150.
So they came
10.
It came down. Oh crap! Okay, I was a bit off.
Correct answer is 275.
What did I guess? 290.
290.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah, it's a bit over.
Pretty close. Nurgle Matt only 5 off with 270, then KR at 265. Adam at 290. It's going to be a close race between you three, I think. Nurgle Matt came in hot in the last couple questions.
I'm on track for third, baby. Let's go.
You are on track for third for sure. You're scoring well so far. Can you keep it up? We're only halfway done. I don't know. Can you keep up this pace, Adam?
Probably not. I peak early.
Gives me time to sneak in there.
That's right.
It is known.
That's right. Now it's Paul's time. All right. Next up, how many points is a Primus with 20 Neophyte hybrids? Yeah, that's right. GSC question. A Primus with 20 Neophyte hybrids.
20 Neophytes, you say?
Are they super cheap?
I think the Primus is overcosted for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, crap. Oh, I'm gonna go 250. 5. Let's go. Yeah. For some reason that it should be like a 50 or 60 point character, and instead he's like an 80 or 90 point character.
He's 90 now. He used to be like 70. The correct answer is 270.
270.
Yeah, it's 180 for the Neophytes and then 90 for the Primus.
180
no
for
wonder
the
your
Neophytes
fact is not doing that great.
What's rough is that a unit of Neophytes with a Primus and without a Primus are completely different units.
Yeah, like completely different. If you don't have a Primus, like whatever. But if you have a Primus, like, oh my God, get out of the way.
Yeah. Oh, geez, did I get closest there?
You did, actually.
No way.
Wow, you did. All right, I'm proud of you, Adam. I'm proud of you. All right, next up, how many points?
It's pretty much
Technomancer with 6 Canoptek Wraiths. This is one that's very, very common in the meta right now. A Technomancer with 6 Canoptek Wraiths.
So I only got so close on that one because you complained so much about them.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah, it's appreciated. Much appreciated. What did you say? Technomancer and Canoptek Wraiths?
Paul was ready. Sorry?
Technomancer and Canoptek Wraiths.
Yes, 6 of them.
It's gonna go 300, whatever.
I mean, that's a pretty good guess.
Because I know it's 220 for the Wraiths. I just have no idea how much the Technomancer is. Because the Technomancer, yeah.
Correct answer.
I know it's 220 for the Wraiths.
280. 280.
It's 60 points for Techno.
Oh, Paul, so close, 10 over, but you were the first one in too, and that's a good guess too. Dorian very close behind, also 290, just right behind Paul's answer. And then Adam with 300, still okay.
So wait a second. So they priced a 5-up Feel No Pain on Infinite Wounds at 60 points. That's
they did. I mean, normally they'll have an upgrade, so they'll be like 80 points, but still.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them. Next up, how many points is a war boss with 10 knobs? Yeah, the prime, don't get me started. A war boss with 10 knobs. That's the next one. A war boss with 10 knobs.
Regular knobs, yeah, no mega knobs?
Regular knobs.
Oh, regular knobs. Ooh.
I think it's about 300 as well. I think there's a trick question, mate. I think you want to, yeah. Wait, the other one wasn't 300.
The other one was not 300.
I put in 300. I bet these cost the same points. I bet this is 280 or something.
It's 285.
You mook! I was right. I was right, and I was wrong twice.
Right and wrong at the same time.
Right and wrong at the same time.
My brain was correct, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, it's the same points." So put in the same points you did last time. I'm like, "But wait, you weren't correct last time." Oh wait, you already put in the points. Oh, congratulations, Adam. You played yourself.
Well done. Well done. Well, that was good though. It was good. Artemis Steve got pretty close to it too. Next up, how many points is a Tyranid Prime with 6 Tyranid warriors with melee bioweapons?
Do you mean a winged Tyranid Prime?
It's a Tyranid Prime. It's a winged. It's the only thing that exists right now. Yes, a winged Tyranid Prime with 6 Tyranid warriors with melee bioweapons.
I feel like these are overcosted as well.
I think they are. Not the Prime. The Prime's pretty dead on.
Prime's
like more stuff to go with, I think. But the Tyranid warriors, I think, are a little.
I'm gonna slap it down 250. I reckon
the melee ones aren't bad for their points. They're not bad for their points. Correct answer is 235.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
It's 170 for the warriors and 65 for the Prime
on the comeback trail.
Oh, Paul, 240, really quick. Adam in second. Okay, so this is actually going to be really close. There's only one more question left. One more left.
I can't believe you actually prophesized this, Paul. We're just like, yeah.
Well, the last question, the 10th question, I always do a little bit of a wonky one. It's not on theme with what I'm doing, so just get ready for that one. So the last question is, how many points is a planetary fortress? I mean, Hammerfall Bunker.
Oh.
Hammerfall
would
bunker.
Not have a freaking clue.
I don't think I've ever actually seen one on the table.
I'm just gonna do something crazy like 210, whatever.
My answer's there, but I'm gonna look this up.
160, 255.
Oh,
195. Oh, Paul, were you close?
Paul looked it up.
I just did now.
He saw how close he was. He saw how close he was.
Wait, it's 160.
I did not.
It's actually cheap.
No.
Okay.
No, he did not get it. It's 175.
Yeah.
Oof, close.
175.
I went way over.
So Dorian came in pretty close with it. And Paul was with 160 each. That was close. Then Artemis Steve just a little bit over 195. Adam at 210. You're kind of overshooting it a little bit there. Come on, man. I don't know. Paul did come back. This is going to be close. This is going to be close here.
Final score time. I was off by like 15 to 20 points on every single one of them, but I answered quick. So let's go.
You answered quick. That's important. That's the important part. All right. So we're just going to have to tabulate these results here. Adam, first place. He did it with 408. And then KR in second with 366. Paul close behind there with 342. You guys did it. You both podiumed at the same week. That's incredible.
All right. I got my first place. It's all downhill from here.
You did it the 1 week. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. We're done with trivia now. Adam doesn't want to play anymore. He's retiring.
No, I'm out. I'm a duck. Well, we can switch it up if you want. We can switch it up, and I'll ask the questions. You show me how, and you can play, brother.
No, it doesn't matter to me. I'm happy hosting it too. But I mean, now that you got first, I guess you don't want to defend your title anymore.
Just want to retire as a champion.
The first time I've gotten close to first place.
Just want to be carried out on a plinth, never to
That's it.
sully this again.
I decree you both to be my shield bearing Thanes.
Okay,
bear
that's
me
fair.
into battle.
That is our show this week. It's been fun hanging out, talking about these big tournaments. Remember to tune in and watch some of these things where they're streaming. Look, if you can't get out there and be a part of it, live vicariously through these folks that are. It's a blast to do. Let's see, what do we got coming up next week? Adepticon.
Oh, I've never heard of it. What are you talking about?
Adepticon, baby. It's not Adepticon. Get on it.
I don't know if we'll be doing a live stream that weekend, but we will try our best to keep your eyes peeled. We'll try to let folks know if we're doing it or not. Adam and myself will be on the scene in Chicago, so you never know what we might be able to cook up.
If not, we'll probably stitch together a show, and maybe the lovely Ridwan Martinez will be joining Dusty for the live show that week. It might be a little bit of a shorter one, but we will try to get some content out next week regardless.
But it's been a blast. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for doing all that stuff we were talking about doing to show support for the show earlier. We'll see y'all soon, everybody. Have a great night.
See yous.
See ya.